Welcome once again to the Just Add Social podcast. Today we have a special episode all about the social media innovations from 2024.
Thanks for that introduction, Aria. And it's really great to be able to do yet another podcast in the Just Add podcast series. And today we're dedicating it to 12 social media innovations that were launched in 2024. And what I've decided to do is to pick one from each month. Now, there was a lot of introductions from all the different channels and apps related to social media and social media marketing. But I've picked 12 to challenge you as well, because I don't think you know all about the 12. So I didn't pick the obvious 12. So that's what we're going to do. Now, the first thing we need to do is just tell you what level of complexity. So this is a very, very easy podcast to listen along to. So we have a social savvy scale that goes from 1 to 10. And Aria is now going to tell us, on the basis of 1 being the simplest and 10 being the most advanced, what level of social media maturity is needed for this particular podcast. So Aria, please tell us the score.
On the Savvy Social Scale 1 to 10, this is level 1.
Great. So no super maturity level is needed to understand what we're going to be talking about today. So let's get going. Maybe we can have a special sound, Aria. What if you can dig up something like a gunshot or some kind of, to say like, let's go. You can find something, I'm sure. Maybe you can do that. I can see you're fiddling with some knobs in the studio there. Let's see. Are you ready? She's nodding. She's nodding. Okay. Right. Let me hear it. Let's go.
Rolling.
Very nice. Suitable sound. Thank you very much for that. Okay. So let's start off with January. Here we go. So Instagram enhanced user engagement by introducing Add Yours templates for stories. Now, I know that this one Aria wants to talk about, but let me just first of all say this new innovation allows users to create personalized prompts and quizzes that can be used across the whole platform. So, Aria, you have some experience with the Add Yours templates for stories.
I used this one. When I see Add Yours on another Instagram user's story, I tap the sticker to add my own story to the responses.
Okay, so maybe you want to step out from being the engineer and present the rest of the podcast, huh?
Haha, Clive, you are funny.
I'm trying to be funny.
But okay, can I give a tip on this one?
Be my guest.
You can create a custom template or tap the dice for inspiration. Once you share to your story, anyone can use your template and add their spin to it. I will let you carry on now, Clive.
That's a very nice tip, even with instructions as well. Thank you as always, Aria. Now we're going to move on to February. In February, TikTok unveiled an updated cutout green screen feature, and this is for free, for easily customizing the video backdrops for TikTok posts. Most of us are familiar with green screen technology, but if you're not, and let me just very quickly explain that this feature uses advanced image recognition technology so that it kind of separates out subjects from their backgrounds in the video screen. And once it can do that, it can completely erase the background of your clips, and thus you can replace it with your own image, or there are options that are in the app that TikTok offers for the background. So your videos can be even more engaging. Okay, so now let's move on to March. And I've dedicated March to Meta's text-based social media platform, Threads. Now, I quite like this particular innovation. Post drafts, but not just, one. Threads now allows users to save multiple drafts of your threads before sharing them, making them go public. Currently, you can save up to 100 of these drafts for as long as you want them. That's a good one, right? Really doesn't help if you're an indecisive type person. But yeah, if you want to play around with the different styles and different things, yes, Threads now allows you to do that. Oh, I can now see through the engineer's window there that Aria's been very quiet. So let me ask this question. So Aria, are you also on Threads as well?
No, I do not use Threads. I thought about it. Shall I?
Ah,
Nope.
moving swiftly on to April, which is when I have my birthday. Just to let you know, that's out there. A new app called AirChat was launched. So this is one not many people know about, actually, but it was launched. And very different one. This is very innovative. This focuses on voice-first public messaging. Enables users to send audio messages in more interactive ways than just type in text. So that's very different. So let's just have a quick deep dive on how it works. When you post, you share your thoughts. When you post, simply by tapping the microphone button, record your voice note, right? AirChat automatically transcribes the recording, allowing users to choose between reading the text or listening to the original audio. And in fact, that's kind of what I do with my blog posts. Each blog has a podcast version with it. So, but yeah, it's not quite a social network, but you know what I mean. And the feed. Now, your feed displays a combination of text and audio snippets from the people you follow. So you can scroll through the feed like on any other platform. But with AirChat, you have the option to listen to the voice notes. So I think that is very innovative. So let's see what you think when you hear the others. So let's move on to May 2024. For May, I've picked that Facebook introduced a link history feature. This enables users to easily access links that they have interacted with in the past on Facebook browser in the last 30 days. And it's actually set to off by default until you choose to turn it on. When your link history is set to on, any links you've tapped inside of Facebook and visited it in Facebook's mobile browser will be saved in your link history for up to 30 days. So let's move on to June. In June, YouTube announced a significant update, and it's about A/B testing thumbnails. So this allows everybody to optimize their video thumbnails based on viewer engagement data. In fact, what actually happens is that when you go to upload a video, you and everybody will see this. You'll get the option, for an AI generated thumbnail or upload your own, but you will have a new one called Test and Compare. If you click that, you'll get the option to upload 2 or 3 thumbnails, and then you can run it, right? And it will just go live. Make sure that they're very different thumbnails, and YouTube will do the test for you. It will find the best people for that content, and it will give you a running set of results. When you go back into your video data and have a look, it will show you which thumbnail had the most view time. And then when that A/B test is finished, it will say who's the winner out of the thumbnails, and you can select that one for use for the life of the video. Of course, it does also allow you to run a new A/B test. And again, the same thing will happen, but it will delete the first results. So make sure you take a copy of that or screenshot it or whatever. So I think that's quite nice. That's a quite interesting new functionality from YouTube last year. Now, we also had a new social media platform, just like we had AirChat. We got a new one in July from Meta, and it's called No Place. Sounds scary, doesn't it? But it's not meant to be scary at all, because it's aimed at Gen Z. So it was launched with features that combine elements of the old Twitter, the old MySpace, customizable profiles and interest-based friend connections. So yeah, that was the new one. So Aria, have you heard of No Place?
Clive, I only heard about AirChat and No Place from you. I did not see any big launch.
Actually, a lot of people have said that.
Maybe it was because the launch was not aimed at me?
What do you mean?
You know, the Gen Z thing?
Uh-huh.
Our listeners can guess what generation I am.
Well, I'm sure our listeners could probably try and guess, but with just the voice, it might be a bit difficult. But that's a good task for us to set them for 2025. Let's see what responses we get back. Now, one other thing about No Place, which makes it a little bit different, because the app doesn't use algorithms. No Place leverages AI technology to drive suggestions and curation. The app doesn't edit the feed for you, but rather uses AI to do things like offering summaries of what you've missed. Another interesting point is that No Space are meant for users to share what they're currently doing, a bit like Be Real in a way, not what they've already done. So if you're in a new city or watching a show or checking out a new band, those could be your status updates. Now let's move on to August. So we're going to go to Instagram again. In August, Instagram began testing a feature that allows users to create temporary profile notes. So I'm sure you've now seen them. They're quite common now. These can last for up to 3 days. Now I can see Aria's, she's a very prolific Instagram user. Maybe you could search for her profile on Instagram. And she's nodding, yes, she has used the profile note. So it's a very common one, this one. And probably the most used of all the things we've talked about so far, other than the ad stories, and that's Instagram again. So yeah, that one's a cool one. Let's look at September. Now this is a very interesting one. TikTok once again. And this time they introduced some more accessibility features. So obviously this is designed to make the platform more inclusive for users with disabilities. So I think, they should have some kudos here because they've got already launched, a screen reader for TikTok, adjustable text size you can have. You can turn dark mode on or off. That's a common one. You can manage auto-generated captions on TikTok videos. You can, and there's a few other features. For example, changing the playback speed, text to speech, changing the scroll speed. Moving on, in the month of October, X, formerly Twitter, added a premium ad targeting option, creator targeting. So this specifically allows targeting to X premium subscribers. And in November 2024, Snapchat introduced new location sharing capabilities. Here are just 3 of the many features that were introduced in November. Parents can initiate a location sharing request. Another one is bi-directional location sharing. So parents can also share their location with their children and teens. And lastly, geofence notifications as well. So so that's from Snapchat. And now we have the last one. In December, back to YouTube again. YouTube expanded its functionality by rolling out podcast support. So here now we're allowing creators to upload and distribute podcast episodes directly through their channels. So this is now YouTube tapping into this growing podcasting trend.
So maybe you might try out the YouTube podcast support?
You never know.
We shall see.
Well, you never know, Aria, do you? But if you do choose to take advantage of this new podcast service on YouTube, you could possibly get video and playlist badges. And also the possibility to have a customized search card for your podcast. And finally, the possibility to be listed on youtube.com/podcasts.
Thanks, Clive, for detailing the 12 innovations from 2024. Now let's move to the key takeaway.
Yes, thank you, Aria. Yes, the key takeaway today is to look at some of these innovations that you've heard. They might trigger you in delivering some of your content in a different way, or engaging or interacting with your audience. And think about, what are the gaps, what are the deltas that you've set yourself for the new year for your social media strategy. Yes, we have, of course, personal New Year's resolutions. In addition to those, let's set some work-related and social media ones, because that's what the podcast is about. And let's think about, well, there's some new innovations, and then we talked about Threads with their drafts, and then you've got YouTube with their thumbnails, so you can do A/B testing or ABC testing. So now you can think, well, maybe we should now fine-tune our approach. Let's not just go with that first design. Let's just put some drafts together. Threads allows that to happen a lot more. You can do those YouTube thumbnails. You've got on a different tact, you've got the add yours templates from Instagram. And of course, you've got on the ad related front, so a different way of targeting on X that you might think about. And of course, the big one, if you are a podcaster, is to think about maybe moving over or doing some additional new project on YouTube's podcast platform. But there's lots of different things to think about. So try and think about that. What will you do with any of these innovations that sparks a slightly different change to your social media strategy or tactical approach for the coming year? So, of course, the thing to remember in closing is that by just adding social to your offline or your online marketing strategies, you're opening up a world of possibilities. So, it's time to make social a seamless part of your communication toolkit. Let's go and do it and watch your impact grow. Thank you very much for listening. Aria, thank you very much for doing your thing in the engineering room over there.
Till next time, bye.
Thank you. She's my best, well, she's my only sound engineer.
Taking notes, Clive.
And I hope you have a fantastic new year. Thank you for listening.
Goodbye from me too.
Goodbye, and see you in the next podcast.